When this generation of people who feed us is done, who's going to do that work? Farming's a hard life, and generation by generation, young people are seemingly less willing to pick up what their fathers, grandfathers, and great-grandfathers started. That's what makes a story like the one I'm about to tell you all the more comforting. Make no mistake, it is a farming story, but mostly it's a homecoming story. Come on, let me take you where the food comes from. Luke, I've been making this show, I said this is season 5 of Where the Food Comes From now, but I've been covering the food and farming world for like 15 years. I don't often get a chance to come on this show and have conversations with people who I have known that entire time, ever since I came in, much less any who were about as tall as my waist when I first started doing it. And now you and your brother Jake are both taller than me. So it's really, it's a very special, I also don't always have the kind of emotional connection and insight that I have with your family. We've all known each other so long. I've literally watched you grow up. And I've known all along your father's hope and dream that one or both of you would come home and join the family business. I don't know, was that the kind of thing, was he in your ear about it? Was it kind of like, you gonna come work with me? You gonna come work with me? Or was it one of those, you do what you feel like you need to do and you look for the life that's right for you? How was that situation when you were growing up?
Yeah, so I mean, growing up, I mean, just watching him work and do everything that he's done with his business and how he went into his family business from the business my grandfather started. I always kind of knew I wanted to, but he was never overbearing with it. You know, he sat me and Jake down individually right before we both went off to college, and he sat me down. He said, if this is not something you want to do, let me know, and that's perfectly okay. You can go to college, get your degree in what you want to do, and pursue that. So, and then I chose to come back and work in the family business.
When you left Reidsville to go to University of Georgia, what did you think might be the outcome? Were you looking in other areas, thinking in other things? Did you already know you were coming home, or did you genuinely go and say, I'm going to explore some of these different avenues and make a decision for myself?
You know, I kind of had in the back of my head, had that thought, you know, but really when I left and I decided to major in ag business, I mean, I pretty much knew what I was going to do.
And now you're second in command here. You graduated University of Georgia in December?
Yep, in December.
What was your degree?
I graduated from the University of Georgia with a major in ag business.
Okay, that sounds handy.
Yeah, yeah, it's coming handy a little bit, yeah. And then I graduated in December, and then I moved back in January, right, and started working with the family.
So what's your title? What's your official job title around?
Yeah, so I'm the assistant production manager, and just watching the flow of the onion and how we pack our orders and how we do that in a time-efficient manner.
So even though your last name is on the shirt and on the hat and on the signs and on everything else, you're coming in and learning it all from the ground up. Even though you were in here around it your whole life, you've been absorbing it second and third hand your whole life already. But now you're coming in, and I would think John would expect you're probably going to hit every level of this company and probably every area as you move on before he just goes, here's the keys.
Yeah, definitely. That is the way he envisions it, and I don't know exactly the plan of that and how he's going to do it, but that will be the plan.
The first time that you came home, your first day at work, when you walked out, you walked in here, Did it feel different?
It did, yeah. You know, I mean, Dad, I always watched Dad get a little stressed out with it sometimes. And, you know, I finally, especially now that I'm in the middle of my first Vidalia season, I know what he means.
Right.
I get it.
This time of year, it's always busy. There's always product moving through here. There's always onions coming through and out of these doors in this shipping room that we're standing in right now. Yeah. But this time of year, it's just hard to describe for anybody who hasn't been here. And maybe even for somebody who didn't grow up in it.
Yeah.
But this is what you know is coming every year. This is what you gear up for every year. And you're in the middle of official year one.
That's right, yeah.
Are you used to smelling like an onion 24/7 yet?
I'm getting used to it, yeah.
Is Addie used to you smelling like an onion 24/7?
I don't know if she is, but we're getting there.
She'll get there. You learn to love that smell, don't you?
Just a little bit, yeah.
We walked in the door and I was like, yeah. I'm back. I love it. All right, well, let's keep going. Show me the way.
All right.
I can't help but wonder about things from your perspective. You know, when you turned 2, well, Luke had already done that. When you started school, well, Luke had already done that. When you started driving, well, Luke had already done that. Right. So you were always looking at that, but you also always had someone else beyond your mother and father to look up to.
That's right. Luke is, he's been a great big brother, and he's been a great role model for me as well. And just watching him, growing up watching him do what he does and how he does it, and his persona on certain things, and it's he's a great role model to go by, and very blessed to have him as an older brother. And we had a lot of fun growing up. We did. Yeah, we've talked a little bit about the future. You know, I mean, Dad, he's been driving the bus for a while, and I'm still in college now, so I'm in the back seat, and Luke's still in the back seat too. But you know, we've watched, and we're eager to learn about everything about the business, within the business, and putting our minds together and working together should work out for the better of things. Especially, Dad's always going to have a say-so when it comes to anything in the business.
Oh, I got news for you. Like every other farmer, when he retires, he won't be retired.
No, sir.
He's still going to be looking over both your shoulders going, I'd put that there.
Absolutely.
Or, you know, I'd do it that way. Or, in other words, do it that way, boys. So you guys will have plenty of time to sort all that kind of thing out.
Dad did a very good job. It was not like we were going to work with him. It was more we were going to the onion field to play in the dirt and play on the tractors. But yeah, some of the earliest memories, going out when we would be planting onions, and we would both get a bundle of onions, and we'd go out there in the field and act like we were planting them ourselves, which we were planting them ourselves, and we'd do a whole bundle, and I think we did a lot. But
yeah, and try to race to see who can get it done
first. So you could do it the fastest. But yeah, it was really good memories, especially when we were young. We would both go with Dad, and he always did a good job making it a fun experience, and not, it was work for him, but it was playtime for us. Yeah. So
it really is a blessing that we've been provided this opportunity, and been able to watch how hard both of our parents work. Even though our mom didn't work in this business, I mean, she's a big part of this business. And so, I mean, we've seen it on both sides, you know, just how hard they both have worked to build this business to what it is today, and also to, you know, provide us with a wonderful childhood that we had, you know. I mean, that took a lot of effort and a lot of time.
Yeah, I'll hit on that a little bit. They put so much effort into us and raising us and providing us with what we have, and throughout our childhood, Dad was big on putting everything you have into what you're doing, no matter what task it is, put 100% into what you're doing. And that's helped me out through a lot of things in life. And just seeing how humble my grandfather was when he was doing what he was doing, and then seeing how my dad picked it up, and the Lord has blessed us with many things, and he's just continued to stay humble and has always worked very hard at what he does. And it's been really cool to watch and see, and growing up into it now, getting older and starting to understand the things that we're doing, and newer things we're trying to get into as well. It's you can feel the weight, but it's almost fun to see and do, because you're doing it together. It's teamwork, not just one solo. So it's a lot of fun. I know your dad's playing for you
he wouldn't do it any other way, and I don't think y'all would either, is for you to all touch every part of the business as you grow and as you learn what's going on. What parts are you looking forward to most?
The bottom, or not the bottom, but the basis of the business.
The core.
The core of the business,
core.
yeah. You got to start it at the bottom and the core of the business and touch each part. Dad's always told us you're not given anything in life, and if you want something, you're gonna have to work for it. And if he were to just put me into a position that I was not prepared for, then, or I didn't earn and work for, then I honestly don't deserve it. And so, starting at the core of the business and working my way up into a position that I can put forth most of my ability to help the business is what I'm looking forward to the most.
What I'm looking forward to the most is watching the two of you work. That's going to be fantastic. It's going to be a lot of fun. Something tells me we will be checking in a lot in the years to come.
Well, I surely hope so.
And I hope I'll be sitting here talking to the next generation of humans
Yes,
and
sir.
talking about where they're going to take things.
Yeah.
Jake, thank you.
Thank you.
Best of luck to you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Y'all are going to do great. Y'all are going
Thank
to do great.
Thank you.
Yeah, so having the boys both come back home to work and to live in our community and to get married one day and raise their families here. I mean, that's every mother's dream, is to have their children and grandchildren within arm's length, 2 miles down the road or 5 minutes away. So I look forward to seeing what all happens with the boys back and new families being raised in Breedsville and more little Schumans running around everywhere. I can't hardly wait.
At what point did you feel comfortable looking at these two boys and going, there's going to be room for them in this business? Man, I hope they stay home and come back to us. Do you remember about how old they were when you were able to look around and go, maybe they'll stay, maybe they'll stay?
I don't know, ever since they could both walk, they followed him around everywhere, onion fields, and if we were able to go on any trips, trade shows with them, and they always followed him around. And my prayer was always for them to come home, and I have prayed that they would find their way back home and into the business. And I think they've both always been interested. Maybe only because they're their daddy and they're following him around, but also for a genuine interest in the company and how it works, and to come back and be a part of that.
Well, I told Luke as he started the business with us, and that's what we're talking through with Jake now, and he's soon to be joining the business. Lord willing, we're gonna, just that proper attitude when you show up. Just have an attitude of humility, have an eagerness to learn, and come to work with a desire to do it right. I mean, a passion to do it right and treat everybody around you as you want to be treated. And just a commitment to doing it correctly. And that's not the shortcut. That's the long road, and but I think that's what we're trying to do more than anything with our boys. It is a good feeling. Yeah, it's a blessing. And we give the honor and the glory and the credit to the Lord. And listen, it's only by His grace and mercy we're here, and this opportunity is here, and we just praise Him for the opportunity of the boys to come home. And they're third generation. I don't lose sight of that either. So that just means, as the second generation myself, that the Lord has blessed me and Lana enough to pass it along to the boys. And so Luke has just joined the business. Jake will be here shortly. Praise the Lord. And we look forward to getting them to a point down the road where we can hand them the key, so to speak. And no, it's a blessing. It truly is. And just the opportunity to be around them every day and to work with them and spend that part of our lives together. Doing something we're very passionate about, doing something we love, doing something that's in our blood, that we've been around for generations. It means a lot to us. I mean, it does. And so this is home for us. This is who we are. This is what we do. and looking forward to the boys carrying that on.
It's a very unique perspective for a storyteller like me to keep getting to come back to the same source. A lot of times it's one and done and we're moving on. We drop in on somebody's life for a day. We show that slice of life and then we move on down the road. In this case, long before this television show, I was knocking on your door, and I mean, I guess we've known each other 15 years now. I've got to see, I didn't see your early struggle, but I got to see it all really kick in and all really lock into place. You had already built it into a powerful force. And it's done nothing but grow and grow and grow and grow.
It taught me some life lessons that I needed to learn, and I don't know that I could learn them any other way.
Sure.
No, those struggles were real, and there's nothing easy about them.
Nothing's gonna soften them, nothing's gonna sugarcoat them.
Here 30 years later, we can talk about it and I can gloss over them, and we can smooth them out the rough edges.
But they were
and we can
what
keep
they
the
were.
Conversation moving forward in a positive way.
Sure.
But no, there's no change in the testimony, and there's no change in the sleepless nights and the stress and the worry and the fear, and those are real. And that's part of who I was, and that's part of my story. And there's no making light of that today.
But another thing that you've been consistent with in the 15 years that I've known you is your hope and your desire that one or both of your sons would come home and follow in your footsteps. When you think about that now and you look up, Luke graduated in December, came home, joined the family business. You're now going through your first onion season together. When you stop, take a minute and look at that young man. What's the impact on you thinking about your homecoming and thinking about his?
Wow, it's I see a desire in Luke to be a part of our family business, to be a part of this industry that he knows and loves and has grown up in. But it's like I tell him, you've been around this your whole life. You've grown up in it, but you've been sitting in the back seat. And anytime you go on a trip and you get to a new destination, you arrive at your destination and you've been sitting in the back seat the whole trip, you have no idea how you got there. Somebody else has been driving the bus, somebody else has been driving the car, and they know perfectly well how you got there. And so I teach him that now that you are joining the business, you have to get out of the back seat, get in the front seat, eyes wide open, have a spirit of humility, and have an eagerness to learn what we've been doing. You do have a 4-year degree from the University of Georgia, and nobody can ever take that away from you, but you don't have a 4-year degree in our family business, and so you need to come in and learn what we're doing and what's important. And that's why he wanted to know what he was going to be doing.
Yeah.
And I said, well, we're going to put you in the packing facility, and we're going to put you as an assistant production manager, and I want you to understand product flow and order fulfillment, getting the right onion on the right truck on the right day to the right customer. And I want you to understand how important that is, meeting customer expectations. Because at the end of the day, we've talked about this, at the end of the day, Schumann Farms is a customer service company. Yes, we are by day onion growers. Yes, we grow and import onions out of Peru. Yes, we're in the 52-week sweet onion industry, servicing retailers all over North America, and we're very blessed to do so. But when you boil it all down, what's the most important thing is we have to serve our customers' needs. And so we are a customer service driven, customer service first company. And that's how we look at ourselves. We just happen to be growing sweet onions.
Now I know Luke, he's communicated to me and to us throughout this day and other time. He's very much aware of this opportunity and how incredible it is and what he's walking into and how proud he is to be coming home. How do you feel about it?
I'm extremely proud.
Daddy.
Yeah.
As a daddy.
It truly just warms my heart. My heart overflows with joy about this. It's a dream come true. It's prayer answered, my wife and I. And Luke and Jake, well, you know, we've been praying about this for years, that the boys would take an interest in the family business and have a desire to come into the family business. We hadn't pushed it on them, but we've certainly been praying about it. And so Luke has really shown a tremendous amount of initiative, shown a tremendous interest in the family business, and Jake has too. Jake's still in college, and we look forward to him joining the business really, really soon. Right now, Luke is in his first 5-day onion season on our side of the fence, earning, you know, he's on the payroll now, so he's seeing a lot, he's learning a lot, and he's got a really good attitude.
It's very unusual as a storyteller to have this kind of opportunity to be inside a story and be inside the story that you're telling, and have been there for a long time. 15 years, it's more than a minute. It's been my honor to watch what the Schumann family has built. I'm maybe almost as proud as they are to see Luke walk through that door. Jake will be here in a year. We may have to come back and check in then. But one thing's for sure, this is a very special homecoming. I'm looking forward to seeing what these boys bring out here where the food comes from.